This movie stars a building. No, not that building. This building.
Skyscraper is just one of the many movies that Dwayne has made. So, out of all Dwayne's movies, what's the point of making a YouTube video about Skyscraper? I don't know.
Me neither. Skyscraper isn't one of those so bad it's good movies either. It's painfully average. At least movies like these seem to leave some kind of impression on you. Skyscraper is just so bland. It's like Dwayne's meal plan.
Do you have anything with this rice? It seems a little bland right now. No offense.
None taken, but no, that's the way I eat it.
That kind of sums up most of Dwayne's movies as of late. Where do we start with Where do we start with DwayneScraper? Here's the challenge for you. Give me a description of Dwayne's character in Skyscraper that's more than 4 sentences long.
Hold on, I got this. He's an ex-SWAT officer or army vet, something along those lines.
Okay. What else?
He's married to a woman, and he has kids, and he really likes those kids.
Wow, did Stephen King write this?
He's just so brave. He's such an overall great guy.
Do you have anything else for me?
I mean, all these traits are consistent with The Rock himself. Oh, heavens! How could I forget? He has a missing leg.
A missing leg?
A missing leg. So you run closer to the bomb. You run close. Did anybody else lose their leg in this instance? I don't think anybody lost their leg in this instance. This fucking face! Jesus Christ! Holy fuck, dude.
What we're getting at here is Dwayne's characters, they usually lack any original personality or characteristics altogether.
So Dwayne just sort of portrays Dwayne, and I guess when you get down to it, there's really only one thing to say about Will Sawyer?
Damn, even the name's generic. Look, I got the gist. The guy's 50% less leg, and he loves his family.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Dude, he's so big.
It feels like Elastigirl tying Mr. Incredible's tie. She got the same fucking hair and everything.
What about the other characters? Someone's got to be worth remembering in this movie, right?
Well, there's this guy.
That's the guy from The Dark Knight, right?
Yeah, and we have our villains. Oh, and don't even get me started on Dwayne's friend.
Okay, one at a time. Start with this guy. To introduce him, the movie goes for a trope that I'm getting really tired of.
Well, I mean, can we be really surprised that there's a bunch of recycled garbage in this movie?
No, not at all.
Okay. Which trope is it this time?
That good old-fashioned news montage.
Zhao Longji, visionary entrepreneur Zhao Longji,
who has spared no expense creating this city in the...
At least they do us the kindness of repeating his generic Chinese name 5 times and spoon-feeding us exposition, for us dumb Westerners.
Then there's that text that's in every other action movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Do we have anything interesting to say about this guy?
Wow.
Not really.
Wow.
He's more or less there to provide plot. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. Not every character needs a deep character arc. Sometimes you need a guy just to kick off the movie. That's fine.
In that regard, I'm sure he's okay. If the dude was just there to assemble a glorified apartment complex, that would be a fine role.
What could they have done better?
Just end his involvement there. They didn't need to try and tie him in with the villains. I guess before we talk about that, can we touch on the villains themselves more?
I gotta say right off the bat, they're not as bad as Rampage's villains. What are these guys? They're just terrorists.
Yeah,
they want some money. Nothing flashy. I can dig it.
That being said, when I finally do get an explanation, I don't know why I said, finally. It's not like I was on the edge of my seat to find out, man. And believe me, when you see this, you certainly won't be on yours. It's kind of an eye roller.
His name is Koris Bota. He handles extortion for 3 powerful crime syndicates. And when I began construction on the pole, Bota came to me. He said that if I didn't pay him, he'll cripple my labor force and keep me from ever completing this place. But what he didn't know was that I hid tracking software inside my wire transfer. I was able to trace every transaction, giving me their bank accounts, their names, their identities. Bota would never be able to extort money from me again.
Summing all this up, we have some ambiguously named crime syndicate, ambiguously getting in contact with Andrew Yang of all people, and then ambiguously threatening to somehow cripple his labor force.
Wait, hold on. Cripple the labor force of... This guy's from China, right?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Cripple the labor force of China?
Yeah, I remember that corner text. I do believe we're in China.
That threat could be taken more seriously with literally any other country. What, are they gonna give 1 billion people the same treatment Dwayne got at the beginning of the movie?
But get this, they try to show this guy being intelligent for half a second, and apparently he makes some glorified USB with a bunch of bank account information, and it's pretty incredible. He gets a bunch of data by backtracking all their transactions, and so he has all the information on these dudes that are actually plotting this whole thing against him.
Oh, so you can prosecute them instantly?
Nah, just so he can kind of pocket it for a little while in case a rainy day comes.
Alright, I get it. Motivation, ass. Any positive things to say about this nefarious group? I said positive.
I know. So anyway, they're stupid. I would even go as far as to say that just a couple of key decisions that they had set themselves up for inevitable failure.
Like killing that hacker guy?
Oh, especially killing that hacker guy. What morons? Like, they have this god-tier hacker who basically gets their whole plan rolling in the first place. This guy even claims to be the only person in the world who can do this kind of stuff at one point.
Alright, so you're saying this guy's the only dude who can do things like turn off the anti-fire measures, open the vents to make the fire spread faster. Only guy in the whole world.
Apparently, I guess. Like,
so they wouldn't be able to get the building on fire at all without this guy. So he seems pretty valuable, yeah?
yes, but do you know what they do? After he sets the building on fire, this chick immediately kills him for no reason. At least no reason that's explained on the screen. It's not like they were forcing him to do this against his will, or so we're led to believe, or he was a hostage or in any way. I would even say that he seemed eager to cooperate with them. You basically threw away your strongest ally in the dumpster for no reason.
You know, in fact, later there's a scene in the movie where the CEO guy's locked himself behind his vibranium doors and the bad guys are all like, oh no, how do we get to him? And then they're all like, we gotta get the Rock because he knows the security system and have him copy that scene from Mission Impossible 4.
Is that so? I know a guy that knew the security system pretty well, I remember.
Yeah, but he's dead.
Listen, man, I'm getting tired of talking about these guys. Can we move on?
Oh, yeah, sure, because now we can get to my favorite character in the whole movie.
Dwayne's friend?
Fuck yeah, Dwayne's friend.
Yeah. God, where do I even start with this guy? Well, he doesn't even do a whole lot. He's really not even necessary for the plot. I think the writers just wanted to show a juicy betrayal.
How can anyone betray Dwayne?
Listen, I'm saying, though, that jawline.
The head, the forehead, the shine. That's mine. You know he moisturizes.
That man is Mr. Clean. His job was just to set Dwayne up to get some tablets stolen from him so their god-tier hacker could work his magic. It's a pretty simple task. I mean, you didn't really even have to execute it in the way that you did. But he ends up failing because he executed it in the way that he did. And, you know, this chick is the one who ends up actually taking the tablet. So once again, he didn't really even need to be in this movie. There was no real relevancy to the plot aside from like a weird tug at the heartstrings, I guess.
They could have just cut to the chase and have the chick confront Dwayne after his board meeting or something.
Exactly. Look, the least you could do is put the least amount of garbage in this crap movie. We've already wasted 4 hours of our lives watching it just for the sake of this review. So let's get right down to it. Let's talk about his motivation.
So this dude was there when Dwayne got one of his 2 defining characteristics. Now luckily, he received no major injuries, ended up getting medically discharged, and just ended up with some slight scarring on his neck, but was then able to land a pretty prestigious job. So all that being said, he thinks his life sucks, he joins a terrorist organization, and tries to kill his best friend. You know, relatable stuff.
I don't know who I'd be without my family. I'd be lost. I'd be...
Me? Relax, I'm kidding. What's going on?
You screw up, you get a whole new life. What do I get?
Medical discharge? Working for thugs? You don't know these people, Will. I don't have a choice.
Damn, dude. Like, I'm sorry you feel lost, but are you really going to tell me you had no choice but to join a terrorist organization? All because you couldn't hold down a girlfriend. Really? You don't even have it that bad.
At all! I'd even say you've done well for yourself. Like I said earlier, you seem to have a well-paying job.
You have 2 legs.
You get to travel abroad.
And you have 2 legs.
Look, you're in Hong Kong!
And you have 2 beautiful legs, man. Now go on Tinder, stop complaining. Somebody wants to hit you up, bro. Come on.
Yeah, but in his defense, it does suck to be cast as that one guy that doesn't even have a last name.
I bet Jordan Peterson would have a whole mess of things to say about this.
Responsibility. That's what gives life meaning. It's like lift a load. Then you can tolerate yourself, right? Because look at, you're useless, easily hurt, easily killed. Why should you have any self-respect?
But all this being said, Dwayne ends up killing you, so now I guess you're mega lost.
I bet this was just sort of hastily thrown into the movie so they could have an excuse to give Dwayne another action scene. Oh, speaking of...
It's ridiculous!
And boring!
It's got a fundamental problem here. The film feels the need to ramp up the stakes to an 11 in every single action scene. Take this part for example. When plot finally starts kicking in and the building goes up in flames, it wasn't good enough just to have Dwayne be in the fucking building when all goes down. No, apparently Dwayne needs to break the Olympic long jump world record 3 times over from a crane!
Not only that, look at everything Dwayne had to do to get this money shot. Fuck it. Break it down into a list.
Yeah, he breaks free from police custody.
While having one leg.
He then steals a police officer's motorcycle.
He has one leg.
He has to drive to the building to, let me say this again, climb up a construction crane.
With one leg.
Goes across a set of monkey bars while hanging over a 500-foot drop.
Imagine if he had one arm.
He's got to figure out how to maneuver the crane.
And then he proceeds to smash the crane into the side of the skyscraper.
And once again, runs across the crane to jump into the building.
All the while, police are actively chasing and shooting this one-legged man. Seems like a real big threat.
You see how the stakes keep getting exponentially higher as the scene goes on?
But don't worry, we have a couple more scenes that follow the same formula, like after he finally gets into the building.
Oh yeah, his family's just hanging in the building.
As it's been on fire for like, I don't know how many hours, yeah.
I don't even know what this scene's for. Just to show Dwayne's really awesome and great dad? I already know that.
My favorite aspect of this is really the fourth dimensional asthma attack this kid has earlier in the movie. I thought they were really trying to play it up.
Is he okay? Did he have an attack?
No, he's breathing fine.
But like we said earlier, his whole family would have been trapped in the building for hours, and his asthma seems to hardly be slowing them down at all.
Yeah, and based off Dwayne's breathy ass line delivery, I'm questioning who really has asthma here.
That's it. That's it. Come back. Come on. When there's a fire, they're held in place by a fail-safe brake. That's all right. Just listen to me. Trust me.
Oh shit, here comes my favorite part of the movie. The Rock has to hold a fucking bridge, dude, while his wife carries their child on her back.
You're gonna turn the stakes up, right?
Of course, where are my manners? Have the wife fall off the bridge, why not?
I said, stakes.
Oh, I'm sorry. The wife will catch herself on a piece of wood, but she'll do all this while doing a muscle up. Oh, and I never even mentioned the fact, and we'll have a scene that cuts to it. She'll be doing this in high heels, man.
I'm satisfied. Give them a bonus scene.
Hell, the preceding line is a fine one. Let's get nitpicky here for a second. To get his family to safety, Dwayne throws them in an elevator with the people's elbow. He torments them by saying he's going to cut the wire and make the elevator fall.
When I cut this cable, you're gonna fall.
What?
Just listen to me. You're gonna fall through the fire.
What?
Then, he lets them know that their only hope for survival is to pull the emergency brake at just the right time to stop the elevator before it crashes into the inferno.
It's about 500 feet from here until the fire line. I want you to count to 5 and pull the handle.
I mean, listen, dude, The Rock explicitly says pull the brake after 5 seconds. And I'll be honest with you, man, if they committed to this plan, I think this movie would have been pretty cool, or at least the scene specifically. It doesn't really seem like there's a whole lot of room for error in this plan. So, get this, before she even starts counting, she clearly waits 4 seconds.
Come with me, baby.
And then after she actually does the count, she just keeps waiting.
5, 4, 3, 1.
Seriously, think about the consequences if you mess this up even a little bit. You're either going to be A, smashed into the ground, or B, stop too early, wait till the fire rises, and then it's going to cook you in that elevator like it's an iron loo.
Pardon?
An iron loo. The thing the ancient Greeks used. I think it looked like a bowl.
The bronze bull.
Yeah, that's it.
Thankfully, this movie has 2 more action scenes for us, and I'm not even sure which one I hate more. We got this one, which we mentioned earlier, where the movie got tired of being Die Hard, so it decided to be Mission Impossible 4 for a little while.
Dude, why is he even on the side of the building again?
Remember this guy? He's locked behind diamond doors, and since they killed their tech guy, who could have probably opened it pretty easy, they make Dwayne do it. And
of course.
He's got to cut a wire that just so happens to be in this big-ass turbine that powers the whole
of course,
building.
of course. Dude, I hate when that happens to me.
Yeah, dude.
That's the worst. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to say about this scene other than...
Relish in the fact that you get to watch Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson swing across a building with 800 stories. You know, with gale force winds while hanging by this piece of rope that's probably better suited for knitting. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with his 700-pound frame and quads that weigh like, I don't know, 900 pounds each. The math adds up. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. God bless this movie.
Well, aside from Colossus over here hanging from the building, you have this borderline video game-like mechanic. Once Dwayne actually cuts the wire, the turbine speeds up in response?
That's an interesting response to any kind of malfunction.
Well, that's not the only thing it does. After he cuts it, the fire beneath him that's been, gradually spreading, it just explodes. And the movie slaps you in the face with that classic hero getting blown away by some explosion while remaining unscathed, of course.
So we get to see something pretty incredible. As he's about to fall off this rope because his leg is slipping off, he does like a front flip without losing any momentum.
Flies.
He doesn't lose any upward momentum, and he immediately catches his leg.
He doesn't only just not lose momentum. He goes up. He defies gravity.
Yeah, and I mean when you see what he does to this fucking vibranium door later, ooh, can't wait to tell you how strong that leg is. What time is it now?
Oh, the best part of this movie?
The absolute peak!
Hell yeah.
Come, bring the drive. Here's what you want. Go get it.
Holy fuck, dude, I don't...
What?
Wait, hold on. Where was that? Where was he keeping that?
What, the sword?
Was that in his pocket?
I don't know, bro. I mean, like, I can tell where he got it from. He probably got it from that samurai set.
Yeah.
But, like, what the fuck? Like, how'd you conceal that thing?
It was a deep pocket.
That is a deep fucking pocket. Anyway, so we're introduced to this room at the beginning of the movie, filled with 8K cameras and TVs. And I gotta say, anybody with half a brain could figure out that this is meant for a fight scene later on in the movie. But this is supposed to be some sort of wonder of the world, allegedly.
317 motion-sensitive projection panels make this sphere the 8th wonder of the world.
Yeah, this room, right by your office? Can you imagine the traffic, dude? Come on, man. We know you're just using this for porn, bro. Can you imagine boobies scaled up to 8K? I'm talking Bang Bros super premium subscription here.
Welcome to heaven, Mr. Sawyer.
The scene tries to do this hot take by trying to make an action scene where it's supposed to be disorienting and chaotic for the characters in the movie. But hell, for us it was disorienting and chaotic.
Feels like I'm having an argument with my ex-girlfriend in a funhouse mirror room.
Hey, at least they kept the sword.
There's that.
The conclusion's great.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Now toss me the drive.
All right. There's one thing you should know first.
What?
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Is this YouTube video almost over?
Just about. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist for stating that China is one of the biggest players in the box office these days. In fact, a lot of the time you can just kind of tell when a movie's keeping China in mind. Movies like these, they all owe a significant portion of its foreign box office to, you said it, China. And is it just me, or does that almost seem like the goal of some of Dwayne's movies as of late?
Now listen, let me clear one thing up. Let's get one thing straight. We're not saying because this movie's demographic is China that it automatically becomes this shit fest. But when a movie just panders to China while simultaneously being crap, I got a problem.
Here's the thing, even though we put way too much effort into trashing this movie, you can still bet your ass we're gonna see Hobbs and Shaw at the premiere. Dwayne.
Dude, we fucking love you, dog. You're probably the only reason I ever waste my life watching garbage movies. You're the current king of selling a movie based purely off your name and your brand. I mean, dude, you're a tank in human form, a building
submarine. Here, take a quick look at this guy's Instagram. You can see he's not only promoting his movies like a motherfucker, but he's constantly flying from state to state, country to country just to film these movies. It kind of seems like the goal is just to get as many mediocre products out as quickly as possible.
Hold on, whose goal? China?
Well, yeah, but I meant Dwayne.
Yeah, it honestly seems like this guy is always getting a pass for these subpar movies, and everybody knows it.
Does this conversation sound familiar to anyone? You say, hey, don't you think this movie, and this movie is shit? And then without fail, they just hit you with, yeah, but it's got The Rock in it. I kind of get it. Like every other human being on the planet, we both really like and respect Dwayne for his work ethic, authentic charisma, and, my god, that smile. That being said, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are film lovers like us. When a movie's shit, be vocal about it. Wouldn't you rather see a good movie with Dwayne?
I mean, listen, I love it when the guy works with a half-decent writing crew that actually knows how to utilize his strengths, because he can actually elevate a movie to the next level instead of making, these garbage-ass PG-13 movies that try so hard to make Dwayne look as great of a guy as possible. Like, suck him off a little harder, please. Nonetheless, Dwayne, we mean this from the bottom of our heart.
Start making better movies. Peace.
I think the number one thing that a lot of people, for whatever reason, become adverse to, carbs are your friend.
That's wrong. Carbohydrates are basically poisonous.
I think carbs are your friend.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Come on. Carbs are good carbs.
No, I don't think so.